Hi guys, it's MiniMouse. Today I want to just talk to you with the camera, just apologising in advance that I'm not a very confident talker, I guess, so sorry if it ever gets too awkward. But anyway, I'm just bringing you some much needed updates on the mice, because a lot has happened and it was all expected of anyway, but anyway, so I'll just get started. So in this tank it holds Sable and Sylvia. So it was expected that Sable was pregnant, and we accepted that. We know how to take care of babies, we've done it all before. And actually on New Year's night, so like the night of New Year's, Sable had her babies. So currently the babies are just in here. This gives me some view of them if I was ever to sort of move the toilet paper from up top, unless they move it for me, but don't know if you can see them, but there's like a few little wriggly worms in there. They're quite energetic for their age. They're a week today. Most of you may be wondering why there's Sylvia in here too. Sylvia is actually Sable's best mate, and has been a great nanny so far. Sable's had a lot of time off the babies and it's been awesome. She's obviously been feeding them and stuff, but Sylvia's been that one step ahead to cleaning Sable and just taking care of him while Sable needs some time off. So here's a quick overview of the cage setup that I have for this month. I normally just sort of do the month, clean it each week and just sort of keep it the same way, but I never really do themes or anything, so not to be expected from this channel. So this is the other girl's tank, and I'm so sorry for the background noise. It's Faye. Faye's in the wrapping paper roll because she's the only one that can get in it. Millie gets very cranky about that, don't you? She wants to join in. Faye's in the wrapping paper roll and she's having a fun old time trying to make different entrances and all that. But anyway, so I just want to cover this cage. As you can see, two of the girls have had a major upgrade, which is Faye and Patchouli. Patchouli was recently just in this little part digging for mealworms. There she is now. Hello. Now, Patchouli was actually the first suspected pregnancy we were going to have, but then we later figured out that it could possibly be bloat, as it's, oh, see, she just disappeared in the tube. As her belly sort of just seemed to stay the way it was, and there was no changes in her behaviour or eating habits or anything, so we got a bit worried, but all I thought is that I had given her a better life than what she could have had, since where she came from it was more of a, like, she'll just take whatever anyone's willing to give her and sell them on, whether it be to feeding or not, because these girls weren't treated at all, but obviously they had their quarantine time before I introduced them to my existing mouse, Millie. Now, Millie's little stories, I got her from a breeder along with a litter mate, Molly. They were both girls, very, very cute pair. Millie still has a bit of a hard time going on without her. As you can see, Millie now has a tumour, which is actually quite sad, as that's how I had to put down Molly. I did take Molly to a vet to cause the less stress possible and have her put to sleep there. It was a really, really sad day, and in a couple of weeks' time the same will have to happen to her. But so in that time, hopefully Sable will have her babies. There's little Faye's nose. Millie can't exactly fit in there. It's too little. Just too little. Millie was actually probably the friendliest mouse I've actually had. She absolutely is so curious with my hand and where it takes her, and she's just a gorgeous little thing. But I do have to say goodbye to her pretty soon, which would be in a couple of weeks' time. Hopefully by Sable's had her babies, they're all sold and gone, and then I can then take Sable and Sylvia, who know Patchouli and Faye, and pop them all in this cage, and they'll have a great old time exploring this, as this is 3 times bigger than the little aquarium that Sylvia and Sable are in. And the reason why they're in there is because obviously the babies, I don't want them to get lost. It'll stress Sable out, not knowing whether you all are. Where are you going? What are you cute thing? It'll just stress her out not knowing where they've all gone and where they all are, and it's such a big space having to monitor all of her little babies. But yeah, so this is actually my existing mouse. I didn't know whether to introduce her or not, so I didn't actually put her in a existing video for that reason, because she's sort of getting along. Her sister was gone, and I thought she's going to be soon, either from a possible tumour, which was expected, and now it's finally grown, and I'll just let it keep on going until it's just too much for her to get around with. So as you can see, she was having a great old time. She can still move around, and so I'm just going to wait till she's having a bit of difficulty, and I'll let the vets know, and they'll book me in probably a week in advance. So yeah, I just saw Patchouli go in here. So actually, back to Patchouli, how we suspected her to be pregnant. She did have, I'm guessing it's more like phantom babies. I don't know where that name came from, but I'm just using phantom babies. She did have one, which I'm expecting was stillborn, and there was a lot of blood involved. I was really worried and wanted to get her checked out, but the people, oh, why are you tickling my arm there? Tickling my arm. People at the vets don't have much experience with mice, they just know how to put them down. Really, no one really surgically does like surgeries or anything. See how just interested you are? You are so cute. What is it? What is it? So yeah, I just had to let her go, see how she went, and just knowing that I had given her what I could and a much better life than what she's had. There's a little fey nose. I hope she comes out, because she is huge. There's definitely no boys in this tank. I've checked and checked again, but because obviously you're not a boy, aren't you? No. Obviously Patchouli's not a boy because she's had a stillborn little baby. So I was watching her, worried that because just of her mental state and also her physical, I was just really worried, and really loved Patchouli, as she was sort of the one that I was most worried about, because she wasn't the best looking mouse in the whole lot. I won't explain the whole story on where they got him from, because I honestly do not want to respect the people that run this business. It's not a backyard breeder. They do not buy litters of mice. They don't sell litters of mice for a profit, because obviously they don't get much of a profit. They just said that they get what they get, and like, they don't worry about it because they really just don't fancy mice at all. So anyway, moving on from that, where's your little nose? I really want Faye to come out, because she has definitely grown a belly. As you can see, they eat a whole lot in their bowl, but they're a bit cheeky. They don't eat what they should be eating. They should be eating, they're like little lab pellets, but not exactly blocks. They just hold all the vitamins and minerals and protein that they need, and then everything else is more of a foraging thing. So here's two girls sharing their bottles. So Millie had adopted these two girls with much open arms. Hello. She didn't even know what aggression was, I swear. She's such a sweet little mouse. There was no little fights or bickering, because Faye just seemed such a baby when we got her, and Patchouli is now digging for mealworms back there, because there's mealworms scattered all through here. And Patchouli just didn't bother, really, so I was really happy about that. Again, I'm really sorry about the scratching noise, because that's Faye digging in the little tube. So yeah, they didn't bother fighting. I've never heard them fight. I obviously kept an eye on them overnight as well. Every now and then I'd pop up and have a bit of a look. No blood, no nothing from each other, just when Patchouli had her stillborn baby and her accidental, very sad birth. So you're grooming yourself. Anyway, so I hope I can sort of video more of these girls and give you updates along the way. I hope there's no more babies to surprisingly come. because I just don't fancy mice with babies, as they get a bit stressed and very sort of protective and touchy, I guess. Anyway, so I'll have to go ahead and spot clean this girl's cage, sort of organise dates for Miss Millie, which will obviously be in a couple of weeks' time, because they do grow quite quickly, but not quick enough for it to be like tomorrow, which is good because I want to have her for a little bit longer. I'll sort out their food because they leave all the holes of the seeds and stuff, hello. And I'll give them a bit of peanut butter scattered around their cage because they love going on peanut butter hunts, and it's around that time that they do, so I'll let them go ahead and have a little run around as it's now that they're starting to wake up and have some fun. And yeah, there you go. Sorry for this really long talkative video, but I hope it's somewhat interesting, sort of listening to me talk. I don't know how that's really interesting, but just sort of listening on how I go along with things and all that stuff. So I was actually really hoping Faye would pop out for the camera, but obviously not. She's having a fun old time thinking she's going somewhere in that tube. I don't know where she's digging the hole, really. I'll have to have a look. But yeah. So anyway, that's little Miss Millie that I was really sceptical of showing because I don't want anything said as like, oh, you only just got her, and I'm like, oh no, I've had her for a couple of years, really. She's a year and 3 months old, so she's definitely getting along. For a breeder mouse, it's expected to be 3 years, but this breeder was obviously not too experienced in breeding, really, and just went by colour and their fur, not actually their genes and all that, but that's okay. That's just breeders for you, I guess. There's obviously not too many around in my area to bother too much about, but that's all good. It happens, and I'm happy that I was able to supply the girls with as much as I could. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to pop them down below. I am fine with answering them. I want you all to know as much as you can before I confuse you with any upcoming videos and stuff. That's what this video is mainly about. I just want to sort of put things out of the way so it's not all confusing in that one video. It's like, oh look, hello babies, you know what I mean. So anyway, hopefully I'll show you the babies quite soon. At the moment they have the start of their fur more of a colour than actually being pinky, so there's a lot of darks in there, which is quite exciting. I can't wait for the colour patterns. She's still going. Can't wait for the colour patterns to come out and for them to all have a bit of a run around and get them advertised and ready to go to their nice new homes. Obviously they will not be going to a pet shop because I do not want them frozen or anything like that, so I just want them to go to a nice little home. And yeah, I do have a friend in mind that she's actually popped her hand up to say she'll take maximum of 3 girls, which is great because she knows what she's doing. So yeah, anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll go ahead and spot clean this girl's cage as I just said before, but anyway, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you for watching. Bye guys.